What's going on, family? Keith Moore Jr. here, and for today's video I'm going to be telling you all how to lose weight with a full-time job. So I'm going to be giving you all 3 tips.
That's it. 3.
On how I went from 190 pounds down to 155 pounds, all while working a full-time job and managing multiple businesses. So I have been working in corporate America for 9.5 years, but I have still been able to stay in decent shape throughout this time period. And after doing dirty bulks and things like that, I've still been able to lose weight to get my weight back in check. So the first tip, you need to be eating in a calorie deficit. So a lot of people will ask me, well, I don't have time to prep my meals, or we're always going out to eat for work meetings and things like that. That's no excuse not to eat in a calorie deficit. If you don't have time to prep your meals, you can use a meal prep company. And then if you're going out to eat with coworkers, menus do have healthy options. You don't always have to get the heaviest thing on the menu. So there are ways around it. The thing is, how bad do you want it? You have to want to achieve the weight loss. So for me, being in a calorie deficit, I like to do intermittent fasting because that gives me an 8-hour eating window, or a 6 or a 4. So for me, I like to do either a 4 or 6-hour eating window depending on my goals, but that allows me to really focus in on my nutrition and make sure that I'm putting things in my body that's going to help with performance. And if I have a 4-hour eating window, I'm not going to be consuming junk because I'm going to be too focused on getting what I need so that I can perform at the highest level for my workouts. And even for work, I need to be functioning properly. So I know junk food in my eating window is not going to be a good sign. Now, a 4-hour eating window or 6-hour is more on the intense side of things. You can do an 8-hour eating window. Now, intermittent fasting is not the only way to lose weight or be in a calorie deficit. And some people still are in a calorie surplus when intermittent fasting. So another tip to add to this is just like a sub point here, is you need to be measuring out all of your foods. And there's a free app called MyFitnessPal. Just enter what you're eating in MyFitnessPal as well as the portion sizes, and at the end of each day is going to tell you how many calories you consumed. And you can also see the macronutrients, which would be your protein, your fats, and your carbohydrates. Now with weight loss, I like to have my protein set a little higher than normal. So I like to typically do around 45% protein, about 35% carbs, and then that will leave the remaining 20% for healthy fats like avocado, things like that. So that's going to be the first tip. You need to be eating in a calorie deficit in order to lose weight. A lot of people think that they can eyeball food and then say, well, I didn't eat that much. I barely eat. I only ate twice today. And then when I ask them, okay, how many calories did you eat? They have no idea, because if the scale is going up, I don't care if you ate twice in that day or not. You were in the calorie surplus, so you had more than what you needed for, if your goal is weight loss. Now, if your goal is to gain weight or you're trying to build muscle, then that's a different story. But just saying, well, I barely ate anything, and then a lot of times people forget, they might drink soda or pop, whatever you want to call it. All of those things have calories. So you need to be tracking everything to see exactly how many calories you're consuming. And I would say enter them into MyFitnessPal. Do an experiment with yourself. The first week, see if you lose any weight after tracking for a week. And if you do lose weight, okay, great. More than likely you're in a calorie deficit. But do it another week. Do a 2-week trial. And if you lose weight both of those weeks, then great, you're in a calorie deficit. If your weight stays the same, you're at maintenance, and you probably need to drop those calories. I recommend dropping them 250 calories to start out. And then if your weight goes up, then that means you're eating in a calorie surplus and you need to drop those calories. And if you're in a surplus, I would recommend dropping it probably about 500 calories, and that should put you in a deficit. But continue to track to make sure you see that scale going in the right direction. And something that I tell all of my online clients, we have to pay attention to the mirror also, because the scale doesn't always tell the full story. So measure circumference of your waist, check your shoulders, biceps, thighs, hips, all of that. You know, get a measure, and I'll post a video for you all to show you all how to calculate your measurements, because a lot of my clients, especially the women, they will be losing inches, but the scale does not always tell the full story every week. You know, for certain reasons, like one week they may be having a lot of water retention because they're on their cycle. You know, there are a lot of variables that come into this, but you know, for weight loss, we want to see the scale change, but we also want to see those inches go down as well. All right, so that's the first tip. You need to be in a calorie deficit. I like intermittent fasting, but you don't have to do that. But regardless of whatever diet you do, whether it's intermittent fasting, whether it's ketogenic, vegan, low carb, whatever it is, weigh your foods out and see how many calories you're consuming. All right, tip number 2, resistance training. So I highly recommend that you either go to a gym or you get some equipment for home and start doing resistance training, whether it be dumbbells or resistance bands. But this is going to aid in the fat loss process, because during resistance training, you're still burning energy. So you're burning calories, and this is going to only help with the weight loss process. A lot of people fear, well, I'm going to get too muscular and I won't be able to lose weight. No, that's not the case. This is going to aid in the weight loss process along with the diet. And, you know, combining these things is how you're going to achieve the physique of your dreams. So as far as the rep ranges go, I recommend doing 8 to 15 reps. And then changing it up. So one week you might stay in that 12 to 15 rep range. And then the following week you can stay in that 8 to 10 rep range. But you should be really challenging your body. Focus on compound movements like the squats. I'm not a big fan of deadlifts, but if that's something you want to do, it's nothing wrong with them. Just for me, I've had lower back problems over the years, so I don't do them too often. But I do like to do straight leg deadlifts with the dumbbells to really focus on that posterior chain. Other compound movements, bench press, a lot of people like the bench press. I prefer to do push-ups because I get better engagement in my chest. But if you want to do the bench press, many variations you could do: incline, dumbbell. If I were still doing bench press, I would be doing, well, I do dumbbell. I do not do any flat bench anymore. So that's just, you know, preference there. But focus on the compound lifts. That is going to aid in the weight loss. And then definitely work on calisthenics, because body weight training is important as well. And that's really going to help you lean out and have that lean muscle mass and that tone look. And then the third tip is go on daily walks. I've covered this on my channel in multiple videos, the benefits of walking every day. Even if your goal were not weight loss, I would say you should still walk every day just because it's good for you. But with weight loss, a lot of people think that they have to run or do crazy amounts of cardio in order to lose weight. When you're going on the walks, you're expending energy. So that is burning calories as well. So you're able to combine calorie deficit, resistance training, which is aiding in the weight loss, and then daily walks, which is your cardio, also aiding in the weight loss. So these 3 tips combined are going to help you lose weight, achieve the physique of your dreams. And then when you achieve that physique, then you can bump those calories up to something to where it's maintenance. Track that, see what your maintenance calories are. and then you're off for smooth sailing. You can have a flexible approach as long as you're sticking to your calories, sticking to those macronutrients, and then you do not have to worry about having to constantly, all right, after I finish this weight loss, I gain the weight back, so now I got to do it again. No, we want to focus on things that are sustainable. And every tip that I gave you is something that's sustainable and something that you can take with you long term. So I hope that you all found this video helpful. Please drop a like. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. And in the comment section below, let me know what you think about this video where I'm providing tips on weight loss. All right, catch you on the next one. Peace.